Hello, 9 to 5ers who really want to sing, artists who really want to go up the artist path, those who have their 9 to 5 job but they dream about singing and writing and doing music. Welcome. If that's you, you're in the right place. Hi, I am Jess, and I help artists who have their 9 to 5 jobs who really want to be sing, write, and record their dream songs, and even learn to accompany themselves doing that as well on instruments and in production. So, if you're someone who is wanting to explore those skills, you are in the right place. Welcome, Jalu. Welcome. I'll give you a wave. Good to see you. So, today we're going to talk about the fragmented artist path. And this is something that I see with a lot of current people nowadays. Last week we talked about the artist ladder. So if you're coming from my email list, I know I sent out an email talking about the artist ladder. We talked about that last week, actually. This week is about the fragmented artist, but I'll review what the broken ladder is. The broken ladder is basically you don't need to back to school. You don't need to go to music school in order to become a musician. There's a path for all of us, and it's not a bad path to go to school, absolutely, but it is not necessary to go on the artist journey, and I'll tell you why, and I'll give you a few examples. I have a client who is going to school for music, but she actually joined my program because she didn't have the consistency. Even though she was doing classes in music, she didn't have the consistency of writing her own music. And so even if you go back to school and you learn the skills, there is not a guarantee that you're going to be actually working on your own music or doing your own thing. I have another client who was very she went to music school. Actually, she was a piano major, and she's in her corporate job now, and she misses music, and she wants to actually write songs and do that for the first time. So that's kind of the old system. Just because you go to school for music doesn't mean that you're going to get a job in it, or you're going to have a career in it, or you're going to actually do it full time. That's kind of the broken ladder that's happening for those who don't want to go back to school and who actually want to pursue music. You can go the artist pyramid path, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. Now, what we're actually going to talk about today, that was a review from last week. If you haven't seen last week, go watch last week. But what we're actually going to talk about today is the fragmented artist path. And that's for those of you who love buying online courses. Yes, I see you. If you have an online course here in singing, an online course here in production, an online course here in songwriting, and it feels fragmented. You feel frustrated, like you feel a little confused sometimes. This is for you. I'm gonna just scroll down here. So have you ever felt like learning a little, singing here, songwriting there, maybe production someday? If you have felt that way, it's definitely not your fault. And I have felt that way. I know I took voice lessons for many years, and I probably was like, I don't know, maybe like 7, 8 years into voice lessons. I'm like, okay, I've mastered a lot of my voice. Where do I go for songwriting? And then I found a coach who did singing and songwriting. I was like, okay, great. But then I was like, where do I go for production and actually, learning the skills to put myself out there? And then I was like, well, this costs a lot of money to invest in myself. Where do I go to learn crowdfunding and branding and all the things? So that's why I created the artist pyramid. And I call this one of the enemies is the fragmented artist path, where you're like absorbing info from here and from there and from there and from there. And you just kind of leave feeling confused. Hey, Saul, good to see you. Saul's one of my clients who just got started with his starter pack. Woohoo, good to see you, Saul. So that's what we're talking about today. How do you create a artist journey that is smooth, that has systemic solutions to the confusion of online course there, online course there? The fragmented artist path creates inconsistent progress, confusion, overwhelm, constant guessing, not finishing songs. Have you ever been in that place where you have a bunch of voice memos in your phone, and you're like, I don't know how to finish these? That's the fragmented artist path. You're like, I know a little bit, but not enough. That's the fragmented artist path. So I'm here to say you don't necessarily need more information. You need integration. How do you integrate? Because we live in an information age, right? We have the internet now. We have a billion online courses, and we're not in an age of information anymore. We have information overload. We are in an age of integration. How do we integrate and time warp, so to speak, time warp so that we can get faster results instead of confused results? And when singing, writing, accompanying, and recording connects with a sequence, it's accelerated, right? It's not more effort, it's ordered effort. So, my busiest clients who have 9 to 5 jobs, very demanding corporate jobs, by the way, very demanding jobs, they complete the results the fastest because they don't have much time to waste. So if you're in that place, that you're in a good spot. If you're busy and you have that job, you're like, okay, I need I've got to make my time count. That's who this program is for. So if you have that structure, um, one skill will fuel the next. So in my artist pyramid, the bottom is going to be your singing, because for me, that's always the foundation. If you have a commercial, professional sounding voice, you're going to get opportunities. You're going to be able to record yourself or get a job in what you love. And the second thing is accompaniment, or songwriting. So if you create your own songs, then you can actually go into things like sync licensing and selling your music. You can go into writing music for other people. You can go into, there's so many opportunities for if you actually create your own music. Whereas if you're just a singer, you are a little bit more limited. But if you have the singing and the songwriting, you have more opportunity. And then the next point of the pyramid is going to be that accompaniment skills. So can you play a guitar, play a piano, accompany yourself? Do you know a little bit of chord theory? Are you able to produce just enough to get your music into a demo into the hands of a producer? Or do you want to become a producer? Because once you have the production skills, your opportunities actually increase significantly with sync licensing, with selling your music, selling beats online, selling vocal tracks and mixing. I mean, the opportunities are endless. If you have these three trifecta, the singing, the songwriting, and the accompaniment and production, you're unstoppable. And then the fourth thing is gonna be your branding. Can you crowdfund? Can you articulate your story as an artist? Do you know who you are as an artist? Can you market yourself? And nowadays, it's not about getting a label. It's about actually building an audience first, then a label adopts you. So you've got to know who you are as an artist in today's age more than ever. The old music industry is totally gone. It's completely gone. And I've learned this by interviewing many, many artists who make 6 and 7 figures with what they do. And interviewing, I probably interviewed at least 100 people at this point with my summits, the Financially Free Artist Summit. So look, there is a path, and everyone's path does look a little different. I talk about that. My program's called Music Mastery Life because everyone has a different life that they're trying to create. Everyone has a different idea of what their life should look like. And I can't do that work for you. You've got to do the inner work to ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like? Where does music fit in? In fact, what does my music mastery life look like? So you've got to do that work yourself. But what I do love about our clients is that they come from different places. We have different ages, but they all have one thing in common, is that they want music to be a huge part of their life and a priority in their life right now. No matter how busy they are, no matter if they got a job, they go into school, or they've got a family. And so if you're in that boat, this program is the perfect fit for you. I am having a free workshop tomorrow. So if any of this has resonated with you, if any of this is like speaking to you, then I want to invite you to the free workshop that I'm having tomorrow. This time tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. PST, I'm going to be hosting a free workshop called Music Mastery Voice. I'm going to be going through the 3 struggles that I see singers face. So this is after 15 plus years of teaching, studying with vocal coaches behind voices like Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder and so many others. And after 15 plus years of teaching, these are the 3 struggles that I see our singers struggle with. No matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, these are the 3 things you're going to struggle with. Number 1 is your technique. And I call this my power and ease method. Can you go from low voice to high voice and back down again without breaking, without getting pitchy, without having the struggles that most singers face? Because that's what I address in my power and ease method. Number 2, my pitch perfect path. So if you struggle with harmonies, finding pitch, finding the music within the music, that's what the pitch perfect path is about. I had a client who learned the major scale for the first time in her life, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was a pattern to it." And now she's actually doing songs that she thought she never would do. So that's the pitch perfect path. Then we've got your vocal vibe. So how do you develop your own artistry? How do you develop your own sound? And I help artists with this, but I also have a vocal style coach. Her name is Monique, and she specializes in this. In fact, next Saturday, she's going to be doing a class in our community on vocal style in particular. How do you find your own vocal style? But in the workshop, I digress. That's going to be on Saturday. If you want to come on Saturday, you got to come to the workshop tomorrow. So tomorrow at the workshop, I will be diving into a little bit of how do you take the style from people that you love and that you know, and break it down for yourself, and actually analyze, like, why do I like this style? Like, is it easy for me? Does it come naturally for me? Or do I actually need to work on some other songs in order to build my way up to this style? Because different styles require different aspects of your mixed voice, or different aspects of your technique to be mastered. If you don't have certain things mastered within your technique, a lot of styles are going to be difficult. And so how do you assess your voice enough to know which styles to lean into and which ones to kind of explore or work your way up to? So that's what I'm going to be going over in my free workshop tomorrow. And I'm going to be hot seating a few people live. I'm also going to be talking about what I was talking about earlier, the artist pyramid, which is sing, write, accompany, and record, and then release. And why having these not fragmented but integrated systems together work together, and why my clients who have 9 to 5 jobs, who are busy, 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 who have their corporate jobs and are smart people. I mean, they have software engineers, and we've got professors, and we've got uh, people in school. Why these people, my clients who are very busy, can actually create the well, now some of them are recording with Grammy award winning producers, recording their own albums for the first time, performing at open mics consistently across their town for the first time, and really enjoying their music mastery life. Some people want to pursue it more career wise, and some people just want to have music in their life. But it doesn't matter, because all of our music mastery lives are different. And so what I want you to see is that investing in yourself, investing in your voice, actually does pay off in the end. And the 2 payoffs are enjoyment, of course, expression, music, fulfillment, of course, all of those things. But for those of you who really want to take it to a career level, you'll want to get around artists who are doing this for a career. And that's why I have multiple coaches in my program. I have myself, who has a very big calling in coaching. Obviously, that's why I'm here. So that's part of my music mastery life. We have Monique, who's touring around Europe right now. She's been in Russia lately. She's just coming back from Russia to teach our class on Saturday. So that's going to be huge. And then we've got We've got Toomey, who actually tours the world as a bassist. He's getting his bass major right now, and he was on The Voice in Iceland, and his music has been on TV in Iceland. So that's an amazing thing that we have access to, and person we have access to. We have Sharon, who is actually on the Grammy voting panel. We have Randy, who's actually been in the top Billboards, top one spot, actually top 10, and then top one spot on the Billboards in the last month or two. And so getting around people who've actually done what you're trying to do. That's my point here. If you stay around people who are not doing what you want to do, in fact that tear you down, then you're never going to do what you want to do, right? This is part of in investing in yourself, part of doing this journey together, is that we're together, that we have a community that's going to support us, and not doing it by ourselves. So if that's you, if that is resonating with you, if that's speaking to you, it's time for you to get off the fragmented artist path and get on the Artist Pyramid Express. And I just made that up right now, the Artist Pyramid Express. And doing it not by yourself, not lone wolfing it as an artist, doing it together. And then make sure you've got, your 9 to 5 is important too. Your family is important. Like what you got going on in your life is important, but there's a way to create without compromising all those things, and because those are important as well. And as you invest in yourself, and I don't know any artist coach who doesn't say you've got to have your 9 to 5 job. Like you've got to have something. You could be a waitress, you could be anything. You can be you've got to have something in order to support your investment in yourself on this journey. And because it's gonna cost something, time and money. But if you set it up in a concise way, you're going to be able to multiply it. So if you're curious about the workshop, definitely comment sing in the chat, and I'll get you the link. I forgot to say that earlier, but you can comment sing in the chat, or I'm going to actually link it. It's actually linked in my bio on Instagram, and if you're on YouTube, definitely it's in the caption. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to hit me up and DM me or comment below. But it's happening tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. PST. I have one more workshop as well happening the next week at 6 p.m. So if you're working your 9 to 5 on the West Coast at least, and you want another time slot, I'm going to have another 6 p.m. as well next week. So if you're curious about the workshop, definitely comment sing below. And if you're ready to live your music mastery life, put music in the chat. I will see you tomorrow at the free workshop. See you then. Bye.